friends, I'm Tati. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing something different. Today I've decided to talk about my top 5 soft boy princes. So I'm gonna explain. I have read several books that include princes or kings, but you know, a king is a prince, so it counts. And I'm gonna be talking about like the softest boys that I've encountered throughout this journey. I have quotes, I have details, I have lots of feels. So I'm gonna get started. We're gonna do this from 5 to 1. So this is a top 5 video. So we're starting out with a soft boy and then we're moving to the softest boy. That's how we're gonna do this. Let's get started. I'm gonna be switching between books, phone, because quotes are all over the place. Also, these are all from books that I have read, and of course I can only talk about them as far as I have read about them. So at number 5 we have Prince Maxon from the selection. Quick disclaimer, I have only read the first book in the selection, so all my quotes are from there. We have Prince Maxon. I think he's pretty soft. He's a softie. He could have been an asshole, but he wasn't, and he treats America with a lot of decency, and they become friends, and he promises to keep her around in this election as long as he can so that she can have better standing and provide for her family, which I thought was really soft and really nice. So yeah, here's some quotes. These are obviously what I thought to be like his softest moments. He is at the bottom of the list. I only really have one that I thought was like his peak softness moment. What do you think my chances might be of finding a soulmate in the group of you? I'll be lucky if I can find someone who will be able to stand me for the rest of our lives. What if I've sent her home because I was relying on some sort of spark I didn't feel? What if she's waiting to leave me at the first sign of adversity? What if I don't find anyone at all? What do I do then, America? I thought that was pretty soft of him, that he's just like looking for love in this like whole weird process of him like having to select a wife from like a pool of candidates. And that moment I thought was really nice, especially when he's like, I've never dated, I don't know what I'm doing, I have no clue what I'm supposed to be looking for, but you know, I'm gonna try, I'm gonna do my best. And I like that about him. He's at the bottom of the list. We're gonna move on to softer princes. My next one, at number 4 we have Prince Achilles from The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This book is told from Patroclus's perspective, which Patroclus and Achilles are together, they're boyfriends, they're lovers, whatever you want to call them. And this is a retelling of the Battle of Troy and Achilles' involvement in it. And this is told from Patroclus's perspective, so Achilles is definitely a soft boy prince, but he doesn't get as many moments to shine. His moments are more muted. They're more through his actions than through his words. But I still got quotes for you. So here we go. First one comes when Patroclus is told that he has to go fight the war at Troy, which Achilles did not want. Achilles, throughout the entire story, it's a point that Achilles hates war and he doesn't want to participate in war no matter like how much that would increase his glory and whatnot. And so Patroclus is told that he's getting sent off to war, and then this quote comes up. Later, Achilles pressed close for a final drowsy whisper. If you have to go, you know I will go with you. And I found that really beautiful because Achilles clearly did not want to go to war at any point or in any way, and he still goes against that, his own wants, just to be able to stay with Patroclus, which I thought was very beautiful and definitely made him very, very soft. This one comes from when they've arrived at the encampment from where they're leading the battle. Odysseus comes up to Achilles like asking why Patroclus is going to be sleeping in Achilles' tent. And so this exchange happens between Patroclus and Achilles. Inside the tent there was a quietness between us. I wondered when this would come. As Odysseus said, many boys took each other for lovers, but such things were given up when they grew older, unless it was with slaves or hired boys. Our men liked conquest. They did not trust a man who was conquered himself. Do not disgrace him, the goddess had said, and this is some of what she meant. This also refers to Odysseus' mother, who is a goddess, and she is very concerned with her son's glory and how he is perceived by others. So she can just continually tells Patroclus throughout the entire novel that he like shouldn't be with Achilles because he's gonna disgrace Achilles. Perhaps he is right, I said. Achilles' head comes up frowning. You do not think that. I do not mean, I twisted my fingers. I would still be with you, but I would sleep outside so it would not be obvious. I do not need to attend your councils. No, the Pythians will not care, and the others will talk all they like. I will still be Aristos Achaeon, best of the Greeks. Your honor could be darkened by this. Then it is darkened. His jaw shot forward, stubborn. They are fools if they let my glory rise or fall in this. But Odysseus, his eyes, green as spring leaves, met mine. Patroclus, I have given enough to them. I will not give them this. After that, there was nothing more to say. And, you know, Achilles is out here standing up for his boyfriend, being like, nah, I'm not giving you up. I've already given enough. I'm already going to war for these bitches. Like, fuck off. Which, you know, that's pretty fucking sweet of him. My last quote for Achilles comes from a scene towards the end of the novel in which, spoiler alert, Patroclus has been killed, his funeral pyre has been set, and the following scene happens. He collects my ashes himself, though this is a woman's duty. He puts them in a golden urn, the finest in our camp, and turns to watch the Greeks. When I am dead, I charge you to mingle our ashes and bury us together. If that's not soft boy material, honestly, I don't know what that is. It's just Achilles being like, we are going to rest the end of our days together, and especially because that was something so important for the Greeks, to be able to lay to rest together with their loved ones. So I thought that was very beautiful of Achilles, and definitely made him a soft boy. In third spot on our list is Callias Maharis from The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. Callias is technically a king already by the start of the novel, but I do not care because he was a prince before he was a king, so he is getting put on this list. Admittedly, his most soft boy moments truly come in at the end of the book when he has finally accepted his feelings for Alessandra and he's trying to explain these to her. So this comes at a point in the book towards the end. He hasn't proposed yet, but he's doing like these sweet little things to lead up to the proposal, and one of them is that he had the banquet table on which they sit in every night made bigger so that she can sit, instead of to the side of him, she can sit next to him. And he tells her this: I told you, you're my equal. You have assisted me in more ways than one. You've been my constant companion these last couple of months, and I don't ever want you to leave, Alessandra. I want to show you how I respect and appreciate you. He's telling her that as an explanation as to why he got the table enlarged, so that they could sit side by side, because they're both equals, and he feels that since she is his equal, she should sit next to him as opposed to the side of him, which I thought was very beautiful. This comes when Callias is finally professing his love for Alessandra and trying to propose to her, and so this happens. I want a life with you, Alessandra, one without the shadows between us, and I don't care about being vulnerable. That's what my guards are for. I'll get a poison taster, and I will live as other kings do. I don't need this centuries-old gift that is really a curse. And even if you don't want me in return, I am still going to remove the law about people touching me. I don't want this anymore. I am tired of living a shadowed life. Which, like, come on, dude. Like, this man is just like, you know what? You have made me realize that I want a better life. I want a life full with other people and full, fulfilled, lived life, which I just, oh, the beauty in that. I mean, ugh. Truly his softest moment comes in the final chapter of the book. Some shit has gone down, and because of that, Callias has banished Alessandra from the palace. And once shit is resolved, he finally comes back to Alessandra, having changed his mind about her banishment, and he reads her this letter that he composed earlier on in the book when he'd seen a letter that she gotten from somebody else that wanted to marry her, and he, like, in a joking manner said that he could do it better, but now he really does show Alessandra the letter that he wrote. My Alessandra, all the poets in the world could write odes to your beauty. You are lovely, stunningly beautiful. Even a fool could see it. But that is not what drew me to you. It was your eye. It was the way you didn't look at me that made me realize you are special. You didn't look at me like I was a king, someone to be respected and worshipped. You looked on me as a man who says foolish things and makes terrible decisions. You made me remember what it was to be human. I'd forgotten, having spent a full year with no one to touch, no one to talk to. It was you who reminded me what it was to live. Your eyes spoke of a mind that loves to tease and loves to win, but they also showed me your heart, one that could be so reserved but ready to love if I could only earn it. I haven't earned it. I will never earn it. I could spend 1,000,000 years trying to worship you, and I still wouldn't be worthy of you. But I'm desperate for you all the same. And though I will not have millennia to live, I want to give however many years I have left to you, because I love you. I love the woman who saved me, and though she doesn't need me, I want her. Fiercely. All the time in the world is worth nothing if I don't get to spend it with you. Forever yours, Callias. And, like, that's some sappy soft boy shit that I love. and like him being like, you don't need me, but like please let me be in your life, is so sweet. I love that he acknowledges how beautiful but also strong, powerful, intelligent, independent she is, and how he wants her not only because of her beauty, because she reminded him how to properly live his life. And I think that's all very, very beautiful. So that's why he gets number 3 on this list. For the number 2 spot on this list, we have Cardan Greenbrier from the Folk of the Air trilogy. I have read the entire Folk of the Air trilogy, as I talked about in another video. Quotes from all around, but mainly his quotes come from Queen of Nothing, which is where he truly gets to shine. Cardan is a total soft boy. He starts out showing himself to be a badass, cruel asshole, but really Jude and Cardan spend 5 minutes alone in the same room. We realize that Cardan is a total soft boy who is totally gone for Jude from the very beginning. Their relationship develops throughout both all 3 of the books, but truly he has his peak soft boy moments in the 3rd book. I'm gonna read one quote from Queen of Nothing, and I have to say that the rest of the quotes come from his letters to Jude, which are at the end of Queen of Nothing as like a little bonus. And if you watched my Folk of the Air trilogy video, you know that I gave all the books 3 stars, but I have to say the letters to Jude, those are 5 stars. Those slap. Those letters like fully freaking slap. So here we go. It's you I love. I spent much of my life guarding my heart. I guarded it so well that I could behave as though I didn't have one at all. Even now, it is a shabby, worm-eaten, and scabrous thing, but it is yours. You probably guessed as much, but just in case you didn't know. His next couple quotes come, like I said, from his letters. I'm gonna do them by order, but I have 3 that I want to share. I'll tell you which one is my favorite at the end. Okay, first quote. Jude, since I cannot imagine that there's much in the human lands to interest you, I can only suppose your continued absence in Elfheim is due to me. I urge you, come be angry at a nearer distance. Cardan. Second quote. Jude, you are in no mood for games. Very well. I am in no mood for them either. Let me write it outright. You are pardoned. I revoke your banishment. I rescind my word. Come home. Come home. Come home and shout at me. Come home and fight with me. Come home and break my heart if you must. Just come home. Cardan. And the third. To the High Queen of Elfheim. Above me is a silvery moon that shines down on you. Looking at it makes me recall the glint of your blade pressed against my throat and other romantic moments. I do not know what keeps you from returning to the High Court, whether it is vexation at me or whether, having spent time in the mortal world, you have come to believe that a life free of the folk is better than one ruling over them. In my most wretched hours, I believe you will never come back. Why would you, save for your ambition? You have always known exactly what I am and seen all my failings, all my weaknesses and scars. I flattered myself that at moments you had feelings for me other than contempt, but even were that true, they would make but a thin gruel beside the feast of your other, greater desires. And yet my heart is buried with you in the strange soil of the mortal world, as it was drowned with you in the cold waters of the undersea. It was yours before I could admit it, and yours it shall ever remain. Cardan. Sir. How dare he write these beautiful letters to her. These are so sweet. I love them so much. My favorite one is definitely the second one, the please to come home and to come break his heart if she must, but to come home. I find that so beautiful that he just like, he knew that there was a possibility that she was gonna break up with him and like break his heart, and he was still willing to take it if it meant that she was closer in any way. Honestly, I gotta say, Callias and Cardan kind of fight it out for second place, but I ended up deciding on Cardan in second place rather than Callias. And finally, at the number 1 spot on this list, there's nobody else that I could have ever put on this list at number 1, and that is softest boy to ever soft boy, His Royal Highness Prince Henry from Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. Honestly, nobody beats Henry in the department of softness. I will read for you. The book is told in a third-person perspective, but it follows Alex. So truly, Henry's softest moments come out either when he's fighting with Alex or in their emails together. And like, damn those emails. Fuck me. Okay, so here we go. This is in an email to Alex. One of the very first, I think. Alex, I can't think of a single other way to start this email except to say, and I do hope you will forgive both my language and my utter lack of restraint. You are so fucking beautiful. I've been useless for a week, driven around for appearances and meetings. Lucky if I've made a single meaningful contribution to any of them. How is a man to get anything done knowing Alex Claremont Diaz is out there on the loose? I am driven to distraction. It's all bloody useless, because when I'm not thinking about your face, I'm thinking about your ass or your hands or your smart mouth. I suspect the latter is what got me into this predicament in the first place. Nobody's ever got the nerve to be cheeky to a prince except you. The moment you first called me a prick, my fate was sealed. O fathers of my bloodlines, O ye kings of old, take this crown from me, bury me in my ancestral soil. If only you had known that the mighty work of thine loins would be undone by a gay heir who likes it when American boys with chin dimples are mean to him. Come on. I die. Yeah, that's truly soft boy. He was so soft for Alex all the time. This one also comes from one of their emails and is one of my favorite quotes in this book. Should I tell you that when we're apart, your body comes back to me in dreams? That when I sleep, I see you, the dip of your waist, the freckle above your hip, and when I wake up in the morning, it feels like I've been with you, the phantom touch of your hand on the back of my neck, fresh and not imagined, that I can feel your skin against mine, and it makes every bone in my body ache, that for a few moments, I can hold my breath and be back there with you, in a dream, in 1,000 rooms, nowhere at all. Sorry, okay, this book makes me soft. I'm very soft. I'm very soft for this book. I'm soft for all the, like, these guys are all soft, but I'm soft for this book. This scene comes after Alex and Henry are having an argument about being together in a public capacity, and like Alex believes that Henry doesn't love him, so this happens. You're really a complete idiot if you believe that, Henry hisses, the note balled in his fist. When have I ever, since the first instant I touched you, pretended to be anything less than in love with you? Are you so fucking self-absorbed as to think that this is about you and whether or not I love you, rather than the fact that I'm an heir to the fucking throne? You, at least, have the option to not choose a public life eventually, but I will live and die in these palaces and in this family, so don't you dare come to me and question if I love you when it's the thing that could bloody well ruin everything. Henry's like just stark revelation that he loves Alex in such a matter-of-fact way. It's just like, this is not something that was hidden. It was like a fact that was straight in front of everybody's face, and I love that he's just so candid and open with his love for Alex, at least to Alex, because he's the only one that we can really be open with. And then there's another quote in that same scene that goes, I never thought I'd be stood here faced with a choice I can't make, because I never imagined you would love me back. I love Henry so much, and he deserves the world, and the fact that he thought that Alex would never love him back was just, it was heartbreaking for me. This last quote is from one of my favorite emails in the whole book, and it's towards almost the end of the book, before Henry and Alex are outed to the public, and Henry's talking about memories and how he deals with them, and so he talks about the first time that he ever met Alex, and I think that's just, I need to share it. But the first time I saw you, Rio, I took that down to the gardens. I pressed it to the leaves of a silver maple and recited it to the Waterloo vase. It didn't fit into any rooms. You were talking with Nora in June, happy and animated and fully alive, a person living in dimensions I couldn't access, and so beautiful. Your hair was longer then. You weren't even a president's son yet, but you weren't afraid. You had a yellow impe amarelo in your pocket. I thought this was the most incredible thing I had ever seen, and I had better keep it a safe distance away from me. I thought if someone like that ever loved me, it would set me on fire. And then I was a careless fool and fell in love with you anyway. When you rang me at truly shocking hours of the night, I loved you. When you kissed me in disgusting public toilets and pouted in hotel bars and made me happy in ways in which it had never occurred to me that a mangled up, locked up person like me could be happy, I loved you. And then inexplicably, you had the absolute audacity to love me back. Can you believe it? Sometimes even now, I still can't. When I tell you I am soft for these boys, I think that's just like Henry's like peak softness. Thank you very much. It's just like, Also, for a reference, this is the size of the Waterloo vase. Like, it's huge. Like, I was like, when I first read it, I thought it was like a vase, like just a regular size. No, it's not. It's huge. And the fact that like Henry needed such an open space to be able to encompass his love for Alex, I think that says it all. I think that just honestly says everything you need to know about this man and how soft he is. That has been my top 5 soft boy princes. I hope you enjoyed that video. Come yell at me in the comments about how I got the order wrong or whoever should be top of the list. Share, like, comment, subscribe if you want to. I've been Tati. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I will see you on the next video. Okay, bye!